Hey there folks, Santee at the Arizona Ghostriders here. We got mail. Santee, dressing the part mountain man, do it. Snake eater.
Another great method that I like to use to dip my snake in, what is it? Kent Rollins green chili chipotle relish.
Yeah, we can do that. Now, the heyday of the mountain man was actually before the period that we know of as the Old West. A few of these old-timers were still roaming around while the West was being settled, and their improvement of the emigrant trails and setting up trading posts had a significant impact on the era.
Yeah, we did, by cracky. Hush up, Jim. What's that you say? It was talking to me, you deaf old coot.
A great example is freed slave James Beckwourth. This notable frontiersman discovered and later developed the Beckwourth Trail, which connects Nevada and California through the Sierra Nevada mountains. It was heavily used with wagon trains transporting settlers. They were men that knew the survival skills necessary to live in the frontier, usually out in the wild and away from settlements. Many of these skills were taught to them by the Native Americans, who they traded and hunted with. They trapped animals for their furs that they would prepare and later take to a rendezvous. The rendezvous was where the economy took place. As well as the Native American transactions, large fur companies would trade hides for goods. It happened typically in the late spring or early summer. There were also games and much frolicking going on before the mountain man would head back to the wild. For hunting tools, they used mainly a rifle and a knife. The percussion rifles of the era were easy to make ammo for, but they still needed lead and powder, which was available at the rendezvous. Drew Ellsworth McCrae tells me that the larger companies had the mountain men over a barrel. They kept them in debt by buying their pelts at a low price and giving them ammo and goods at an inflated price. By the late 1840s, the fur trade was no longer in demand, so many of these frontiersmen had to find other jobs as Army Scouts or wagon train guides.
Freedom, 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 freedom.
As I mentioned in my buckskin video, I don't actually own any mountain man attire. Out here in Arizona, there's a short season where one can be outside in that clothing and not die. What I can tell you is that it wasn't just buckskin jackets and pants. Clothing was made out of the trade blankets as well as homespun cotton, linen, or wool. Fur hats and coats were very common for those trapping up north, but wearing a bandana as a head covering was a common sight, as were moccasins and other Native American influences. Websites like Crazy Crow and Dixie Gun Works specialize in clothing, accoutrements, and tools for the fur trade era. There are patterns available if you want to make your own, or you can go shopping at one of the many mountain man rendezvous that are put on annually in the US. Well, when there's not a pandemic. These events have knife and tomahawk throwing, Dutch oven cooking, shooting, archery, and even a frying pan toss. Well, on the subject of trailblazers, I was contacted by Brian at the Chisholm Trail Museum in Texas. Brian writes, "We're running a special contest for individuals to design their own brands and send them to the museum where they will be incorporated into a brand mural we will put on display. And for one lucky winner that will be chosen during a drawing of all brand designs at the end of August, we will have their brand made and sent to them." Sounds like a pretty cool contest. Maybe you want to take advantage of it. If so, please check out the link in the description field down below. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you on down the trail.